All right, folks, one of the best days of the year, opening day, is upon us. The league is about to begin. We have a jam-packed episode coming at you right now. First thing, big announcement. The league's name this year is going to be the Fantasy Show Boys. Rumor has it, on his way driving from San Diego back to Colorado, Commissioner Eric Bartosik was driving through Vegas and he saw a sign for the Fantasy Showgirls. And he decided we're going to be the Fantasy Show Boys. And I'm okay with it. So that's who we are. That's who we're going to be this year. Speaking of the commish, he wants to tell you who we are. Why should you care about us? So he's going to have a little trip down memory lane now for you. Enjoy.
Oh, hi there. Excuse me, didn't see you there. Well, welcome to what we call a new segment of Commissioner Stories with Bardo. It's a new segment where we share stories of our past. Stories of a league that only a few people know, but the world will be told. Let's dive in. The year is 2009. A boy named Eric Bartosik, which is me if you've not caught on by now, was a lonely freshman at the University of Northern Colorado. On a cold, gloomy, windy as fuck day in glamorous Greeley, Colorado, I, your commissioner, decided to create a fantasy baseball league. A league that would one day change the lives of 9 individuals. I won't take too much of your precious time, but the crazy part of the story is that in the opening season, there were only 3 owners in the league that are still around today. Myself, my dad who has rejoined, and Jay, who we call him X Factor. Doesn't that just blow your balls? The 2009 season was dominated by the long ballers. Yours truly. I would go on to have a 15-7 season record and the first World Series title of the league. I went on to win it again that year. I really do miss 2009 and 2010. 2011, the birth of Scott Martin's World Series title. Still searching for his next title, this was a dominant year for him as his second baseman Robinson Cano would go on to score 1,400 points from the second base position. Holy side boob, that's crazy. 2012. Oh, 2012, X Factor. Jay, you are league champion. We must let it be known, this is also the only time in league history that he has ever made the playoffs. Ever. But you do still have one more championship than Peter Bayer does. Besides this one-hit wonder, the league would change again. Andrew Cronin, known as Crony, would join the league after years of turning down an invite. Nobody knew what to expect from this man, as probably most of the league thought that he was only knowledgeable with women's rollerball. He would go on to say, fuck you. 2013, 2014, and 2015 seasons. I would like to give you all a recap, but there is no need. Crony would take his team prediction paint on to win three straight World Series titles. 3. After acquiring both Mike Trout and Bryce Harper in the same trade, he would never look back, unless it's into a mirror of his own ass. A nice ass, I might include, though. And whoever traded those 2 to him, you just do better next time, okay? Yeah. So, league and groupies watching, you know who you are. Get ready for the 2016 season. Another great chapter to add to our story. I'm your commish. Commish out.
Thank you, Commish, for storytelling as only you can do. Special treat for you guys. The Commish has a blooper. Take a look.
Today, ladies and gentlemen, we tell the story of the league. A prestigious story that only a few know about, but the world will hear. Let's dive on in.
What are you talking about?
I'm making my segment.
Indeed, he was making his segment. Never interrupt the commissioner while he's making his segment. Again, thanks, Bardo, for that. All right, let's take a look at the players we have this year. We got 8 managers, All of them a threat to win the title. Let's start out first with the Bardo File. The Bardo File. Eric, a.k.a. Bardo, a.k.a. the Commish, a.k.a. the Long Ballers. Eric has been in the league since the beginning, 7 full seasons. Career record 95 wins and 59 losses for a 62% winning percentage. He's only missed the playoffs once, 6 playoff appearances, 3 title appearances, and 2 championships under his belt. Folks, make no mistake about it, Bardo is a living legend. He started this league. Even if he had no titles, he'd be a legend, but he's got 2. He's waiting for that last elusive title that will get him into the Fantasy Baseball Hall of Fame. And quote me on this, he will get it, whether it's in this life or the next. Up next, we got Scott. The Scott File. Scott, a.k.a. the Weiss Guys, a.k.a. the Coon. Scott has been around for 6 seasons. Career record 81 wins and 51 losses. 62% winning percentage. Scott has 6 playoff appearances. He has never missed the playoffs. 2 title game appearances and 1 championship under his belt. I'm sure you're all wondering why we call Scott the Coon. When we drop a player, Scott will be the first one to pick him up and use him against you. Scott's teams never lacked for talent. He's got youth, he's got veterans, he's got pitching, and he's got hitting. Scott's one detriment is that sometimes he gets in the way of himself. He may sacrifice this year's team, looking ahead at his keepers of next year. But one thing is for certain, Scott will be in the playoffs, and he will be a threat. Up next, we have X Factor. The X Factor File. X Factor, a.k.a. Jay. 7 seasons, one of the original 3. Career record of 51 wins, 103 losses, for a career winning percentage of 33%. He has 1 playoff appearance, 1 title appearance, and 1 championship. The numbers don't lie. Jay has over 100 losses, and he's the only manager in the league with that. He has 1 playoff appearance, but that one time, he won it all. So from a former champion to another former champion, Jay, tip my cap to you. Jay is not always a threat, but when he puts it together, we've seen him win it all, and he can do it again. Let's talk about the last original member of the league. This is the Bernie File. The Bernie File. Bernie, a.k.a. Bernie B, a.k.a. The Burn. Bernie has been in the league for 5 seasons. He has a career record of 33 wins and 67 losses for a 33% winning percentage. He has 1 playoff appearance, 0 title game appearances, and 0 titles. Yes, I am in a different room of my house, wearing a different hat. You will see me here again. Hey, Bernie, he's not big on accolades and awards and championships and wins and even being good at fantasy baseball. But did you see that picture? He's like a fighter pilot. Show some respect, goddammit. Bernie has historically given the best teams in this league the most trouble. When you least expect it, Bernie will come up and bite you in the ass. He may just cost you a playoff spot. This year, he may be a threat to get one himself. With the team that he has, he is stacked. He is loaded. All right, next up, the Peter File. The Peter File. Peter, a.k.a. Jabroni Squad, a.k.a. the Cucumbas, a.k.a. a bunch of other stupid names that nobody cares about. Peter's been around 6 seasons. Career record, 78 wins and 54 losses for a 59% winning percentage. Peter has 4 playoff appearances and 3 title appearances, but no titles. Listen, I just gave Peter a bunch of shit right there about his stupid team names, 0 titles, 3 championship games appearances. But I tell you what, no offense to anyone else, but in my managing career, over the last 4 seasons, I won 3 straight titles. Nobody gave me more trouble than Peter. Peter's as good a manager in this league as there is. He's going to get his title eventually, but until then, Peter, we're going to give you a bunch of shit. Peter's managing style, he gets guys that throw fire. Coming from a guy that throws some fire himself, it's no surprise. Peter always has one of the best pitching staffs out there. He throws in some good young hitting. Peter's always a contender. I tell you what, man, he's going to get his eventually. Next up, we got Corey. Corey File. Corey, a.k.a. Play at the Plate. Corey's been around 6 seasons. Career record 54 wins and 78 losses, 41% winning percentage. Corey has 1 playoff appearance, 0 title appearances, and 0 titles. Let's be honest, nobody has a fucking clue what Corey's doing. It looked for a while there that he was assembling the greatest lineup of prospects ever assembled, and then he started trading them off. Corey, you've been around 6 seasons, man, with 1 playoff appearance. It's time for you to start doing something, man. We're counting on you. All right, next up, one of the newer members of the league, Steven. The Steven File. Steven, a.k.a. Just a Bit Outside. Steven's been around for 2 seasons. He has a career record of 25 wins and 19 losses for a 57% winning percentage, 1 playoff appearance, 0 title appearances, and 0 titles. Steven made the playoffs in his rookie season. Missed it last year, but his winning percentage over the last 2 seasons has been comparable with the best of the best in this league. He knows what he's doing. Steven's got some game. He's a great manager. Steven's an absolute threat to the league. In only his 3rd season, I wouldn't be surprised to see him at the end of it in the title game. Let's go to our last manager preview, Jeremy. The Jeremy File. Jeremy, a.k.a. Hebrew Hammer. 2 seasons in the league. Record 20 wins and 24 losses, 45% winning percentage. 0 playoff appearances, 0 title game appearances, 0 championships. First off, I got to give a shout out to the commissioner. Thank you for that picture of Jeremy, since he was way too cool to send me a picture. Jeremy, that's what's going to happen, buddy. You either participate or you're just going to get shit on. Jeremy's still a baby in this league. He's only been here for 2 seasons. He's got a lot of potential. Ever since him and Steven entered the league, it's just been crazy competitive. He's a sleeper pick. Questionable draft maybe this year, but who knows? It's all depending on pickups and trades and things like that. All right, so let's preview Week 1's matchups. First off, we have Commissioner Bardo facing off against X Factor. We have Jeremy and Peter going head-to-head. Steven and Corey. And then last but not least, we got Scott and Bernie. All right, Week 1 is upon us, gentlemen. It's going to be just like every other Week 1. Except this time the world will be watching. It's like the Hunger Games, only real. We'll see what happens. Alright, a little bonus video for you. It wouldn't be the preseason without some predictions by Prediction Pain. My team name when I was playing was Prediction Pain. I would predict the end of season outcomes with shocking accuracy. Let's get started. The person I picked to finish last in the regular season is Corey. Why? Because he's Corey. All right, let's take a look at his lineup right now. Nothing to write home about. He's got some young talent, Jock Peterson, Yelich in the outfield, Billy Hamilton. It's just not a good lineup. I like Lindor a lot. I like Seager a lot. He may be a competitor 3 years from now, but we've been saying that for about 5 years now. The one thing he's got is pitching. Jake Arrieta, Jacob deGrom, Jose Fernandez, Noah Syndergaard, Chris Archer. That's about as good a pitching rotation as I've ever seen. The only problem is you only get 8 starts per week in this league. So, hey, good luck, man. I hope you prove me wrong, but your hitting worries the hell out of me. All right, next, X Factor. I am predicting you to finish in 7th place this year. Why is that? Justin Upton's, Nelson Cruz's, Adrian Gonzalez, Buster Posey, solid guys. The rest of your lineup around them is just not that good. You got Lorenzo Cain, Adam Eaton in the outfield, Eric Ibar, Matt Carpenter. The one guy I really like in your infield is Odor from Texas. I think he's a hell of a power hitter from a second baseman. You got Bumgarner, Strasburg. Everyone after that is not good. Jose Quintana, you drafted that guy, X? Come on, man. Prove me wrong. Good luck. All right, next, other team I'm looking to miss the playoffs this year. Hebrew Hammer, Jeremy. You got some power. Chris Davis, Josh Donaldson, Cespedes, Cargo, Puig, you got some power, man. I'll give you that. Everything around it does not excite me. Good top end pitching. Keuchel, Greinke. You got Lester and Smiley and Chapman, Wade Davis. Yeah, good luck with that, buddy. You even got Jose Reyes on your bench. Um, I just don't think it's going to be enough. I really don't. I hope you prove me wrong. Um, but I can't see you making the playoffs with this roster that you got right now. This one's tough for me since this used to be my old team. Bernie, shit, man, I left you with a beautiful, beautiful set of keepers. You did a pretty good job in the draft. I see you just missing out on the playoffs. You got some guys I love, guys that I just rolled with. Schwarber, Goldschmidt, Dozier, Trout, Harper. You got Braun now. A really solid lineup. A really solid lineup. The pitching's going to be your downfall. I don't think it's going to be good enough to compete with the top end guys. You got Hamels and Liriano. Those are your top two guys. That pretty much says it all. Good luck, Bernie. It's going to be a dogfight. I see you just missing out on the playoffs. One guy I see sneaking in, maybe with a win or two above Bernie to get in, is Steven. Steven, a really strong draft. I like a lot of his players, a lot of unsung guys. He's got Mesoraco as catcher, Belt at first. Then he's got the big names. He's got Tulo. He's got Bogarts, middle infielders. Carlos Gomez, Hunter Pence, Hanley in the outfield, Prince Fielder at his utility. His bench is what tells you how good he is. He's got Adrian Beltre, Byron Buxton, and his pitching. They're going to surprise you with how good they're going to be. Matt Harvey, Garrett Cole, Johnny Cueto, Garrett Richards. Steven, I see you being a playoff contender, buddy. Let's see who I have next. Oh, good old Peter. Good old Peter, who's now the Jabroni squad. Peter, he's just a good manager. Good enough to get to the championship. Will he win it? I don't know. The one thing that concerns me is how many Cubs he has. That's always been a thing. I never like putting my chips all in one team. In the past, Bartle's done it with Tigers, but he's got Anthony Rizzo. He's got Chris Bryant. Great pickups. He drafted Ben Zobrist with one of his first picks. Addison Russell's a solid middle infielder, but that's a lot of Cubs. Jason Hayward, don't let me forget that. And then former Cubs Starlin Castro. He's got Arenado. He's got some really good players. Real strong, and Peter's always got pitching. Here's this for you: David Price, Corey Kluber, Felix Hernandez. Yeah, he's gonna be just fine. See you in the playoffs, Peter. All right. Next up, I got Bardo, the commissioner. I see him finishing in a second, albeit a distant second, to our number one guy. Here's what Bartle's looking at. Solid lineup, big names with some good balance. He's got Miggy Cabrera, Todd Frazier, but then he's got Carlos Correa, just playing shortstop, going to hit him 30 jacks. He's got guys he likes, Colton Wong, and then he's got some aged guys, Jose Batista, Edwin Encarnacion, Michael Brantley. Pitching's going to be just enough. Max Scherzer, Michael Wacha, Tanaka. Yeah, he's going to be okay. Last but not least, Weiss guys, Scotty. Once again, you did it again, son. I think Scotty's going to run away with the regular season title. I really do. Up and down the lineup. Let me just read you his entire lineup right now. Lucroy, Abreu, Jose Abreu, that is. Jose Altuve. Franco playing third, Trevor Story, D. Gordon, Freddie Freeman, Andrew McCutchen, Giancarlo Stanton, Starling Marte, Corey Dickerson, Michael Conforto, Miguel Sano. There's about 4 or 5 guys that I absolutely love in there to explode. Pitching, Chris Sale, Sonny Gray, Stroman. Closers, Kimbrel, Melanson, Familia. I'm missing Clayton Kershaw on the bench, Shelby Miller, Danny Salazar. Scott, that's a hell of a job, man. Hell of a job. Good work. So that's what I predict. I predict Scott, Bardo, Steven, and Peter in the playoffs. The rest of you guys, prove me wrong. It's going to be a great season.